Good afternoon, it's Rachel. I just wanted to talk to all my people from the Gentle Place, wish them well during this coronavirus, and talk about some stretching, things to keep you fluid and moving and comfortable while you're home and not able to participate at the Gentle Place. So anybody who's participating in yoga or massage is welcome to join us. If you stay tuned later, Nate will do some lower body stretching and trunk stretching. I'm going to focus on the upper body, neck, and shoulders. So you're welcome to start with a nice big sun salutation, always going at your own pace, taking in a nice deep breath. One thing I want to remind everybody with stretching is there's no bouncing, there's no rushing, always at your own pace, calm, controlled. You never want to feel numbness or tingling. Stretches should feel mild, and they should never feel like they're irritating you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, we're going to start here with the neck. I'm going to drop my arms. I'm going to roll my shoulders backwards. We want to make sure they're not up here where most of us keep our shoulders. We don't need shoulder earrings. I'm going to drop them down. I'm going to gently side bend my neck down to one side. Does not matter which side you start with. You're going for pure side bending. If you're not really feeling the stretch with this motion, feel free to bring, I side bend to the right. I'm going to bring my left arm behind me slightly. That'll accentuate the stretch. If that doesn't add to the stretch on the side of your neck, the left side, I can take my right hand, gently place it on my head, and gently, the weight of my hand is the only thing that's bringing me over to the right. I'm not pulling on it. I'm not bouncing. It's just the weight of my hand providing an extra stretch. You want to breathe through it. And you're going to hold every stretch that we do for at least 20 seconds. 30 is preferred. You want to hold it up to a minute. That's great. Do what you feel your body needs. For the time of the video, we're going to just do one side. But it's always best practice to do both sides if you need it. And come back to the center. Roll your shoulders back. Another great neck stretch. We're going to turn our head over to the right. You're going to drop your head down so you're looking either at your right knee or your toes. Some people will feel the stretch back here automatically if you're that tight. If you don't feel it with that, left hand is going to go behind your back or behind your buttock. That might accentuate the stretch. Otherwise, take your right hand on top of your head and gently the weight of your hand downward on your head. This is going to work the muscles right back here, giving you that nice, pleasant stretch. Again, no bouncing, no pulling. Slowly sink into the stretch. Nice, calm breathing. "20 seconds or 30 seconds, whichever you prefer. And then do the other side, please. I can take my hand off my head, come back to neutral, bring my arms forward. Roll my shoulders backwards. You're going to take your hands as far backwards as you can. Palms are facing forward at this moment. I'm bringing them back behind me. Then I'm going to turn my hands so my palms are facing toward each other. I'm trying to let my palms clap, if they can. You're going to keep them low. You don't need to bring them high. Keep them low. Hands together. Going to gently lift up. Be careful here you're not shrugging your shoulders. Gently lift up. If you can't get this far, that's okay. Just the motion of bringing your arms back here is enough to start getting a stretch here at the pecs. So you bring your hands back toward the center. Once you've gotten past midway, the hands are turning so they're going to clap together. If you can get them together, once they're down here, you're going to do a gentle lift. It's a nice way to stretch out the pectoral muscles, which are right here. Another important stretch to do is for the forearm. I'm gonna show you a couple of these. So you can start really low. What you're going to do is bend your wrist downward so your fingers are pointing down toward the ground. Place your opposite hand on your palm. Now, I preface the palm. Don't put your hand on your fingers. If your hands are on your fingers, what you're doing is you're just pulling your fingers into extension. You're not really getting the stretch that we're looking for. You want your hands on the palm. And you're going to pull back from the palm. So this is stretching all these muscles right in here, which are your forearm flexors. So those are the muscles that flex. You use a keyboard or you're painting, you do a lot of manual labor, you're an architect, builder, these are really important to stretch. This is a really nice one. So an alternate way to do this, you put your hand against the wall, putting your palm flat on the wall and leaning into it. Now, if you want to do that, you need to start low. A lot of people will need to start low on the wall, ideally facing the wall, and then working your way up. Some people, imagine this is a table with good body mechanics, hope you can still see me, would start on a table or a kitchen counter, leaning right into it to get this stretch. Really nice way to get that forearm, and it's a little bit of weight bearing into it. And then you want to do the other side. So arms straight out. Again, you can start lower. Wrist bent down, fingertips to the floor. Opposite hand on the back of the palm, pushing down. So you're bending the wrist and you're stretching your wrist extensors. So all the muscles up here. You're getting a stretch. You might even feel this all the way up to the elbow because that's where those muscles start to connect. Don't forget to breathe nice and deep or gently throughout your stretches. Keep applying that rule of 20 to 30 seconds. No overpressure, no bouncing. If this becomes easy, you can start to raise it up. Then you start to feel the stretch a little bit more aggressively. This is another one that can be done against the wall or against the table. Okay, we're going to do a tricep stretch. So you're going to lift your arm up over your head. So this is technically shoulder flexion. You're going to bend your elbow. Opposite hand is going to pull your arm back. And that is going to stretch the tricep muscle. Again, 30-second hold or 20-second hold. And then you can repeat and do the other side. You might feel a difference between the sides. I definitely have a problem with my left shoulder, so it's a notable difference for me. Okay, I want to take you into a little bit of a trunk stretch. I'm going to do this one sitting. Okay, the next one I'd like to take you to doing is the muscles right through here, the side of your trunk or your low back. So I'm going to do this in sitting. It can also be done in standing. You want to make sure your hips are facing straight ahead and your thighs. You don't want your legs collapsed in like this. Okay, by doing this seated, it ensures that your pelvis is in the appropriate position. And you can just side bend over. It's going to get you here. You can add to it by taking your arm up and over and reaching. If your shoulder hurts or it's a problem, you can go like this. It can be over your head this way. You can go like this. Now, if you're doing this in standing, to anchor your pelvis, it's important to turn your hips in. So notice, I went from my hips and my legs facing forward to turning my feet in. So if I turn my feet in, I am now locking my pelvis. So when I do this, I'm not suddenly sticking my hip out. That loses the stretch. So as I lean over here, my pelvis is now anchored. It's not shifting out. My arm becomes this lever as it goes over my head. Notice I'm not cranking my neck in any funny manner. This is a nice, long, prolonged stretch, especially if you're seated at a desk for any length of time. It's getting these lateral muscles here. It's getting your latissimus. It's also getting your quadratus lumborum. 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 It's also getting your quadratus Really nice stretch to do. It's a good one to hold a little longer. Okay, now I'm going to take you to one more trunk stretch that I prefer to do on the floor. Okay, this is a good trunk stretch. So what you're going to do is you're going to be on your hands and your knees. You're going to put your head down, knees are apart. You're going to lean your hips back toward your heel, getting a nice stretch to the back of your trunk. It's also a great stretch to your shoulders. I think in yoga it's similar to one of the baby poses, but I can't be certain about that because I don't do that much yoga. However, the next stretch that you would add to this is a great bonus to doing your stretching your latissimus and your shoulder. You're going to put your hands all the way to the right. You're going to drop your head down between your elbows. You're going to bring your hips toward your left heel. So you're thinking hands, head, hips, heels. You're leaning, hands are to the right, hips are to the left. Going to the left heel. I am now stretching the left side of my trunk. It's a really great stretch. Gravity does all the work here. Keep breathing throughout. And then you come up straight through this diagonal to finish. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Stay tuned. Soon Nate will be doing lower extremity and trunk. And then next week I will be doing some ergonomics for how to set up your desk. Okay, take care.